All right, guys, so it's been a little bit now, and I wanted to talk to you guys about Gruv, which, yeah, I looked at the comments. Apparently, it's Gruv. Come on, give me a fucking break. It looks like Gruv, okay? Gruv. What does that look like? Okay, but you guys win. I'll say it right. It's been a little bit now since Scream Factory's website has gone down and everything's moved over to Gruv.com. I wanted to talk to you guys about what the future holds, what we can hope for and maybe expect, and what needs to change, quite frankly, because I was not in love with the way Scream Factory put out new releases. Now, new releases remains to really be seen. We haven't really gotten any new releases announced while the movies are in the home base of Gruv. The last things that were announced were a bunch of steelbooks of basically already released films, one of the biggest ones being Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, which I absolutely love. And if you don't own it, I mean, if you like the steelbook, get it. But there's nothing wrong getting the standard version because the classic poster art for that movie is just sensational. But yeah, it's been a little bit now, and I wanted to talk to you guys about what I hope to see happen. Now, I got to ask you guys this, and we're actually going to be looking at the website in this video. We're going to do an overview and give the website a pure audit and see if it's convenient and all that, so stick around for that. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about the way Scream Factory's business model worked with releasing new titles. They kind of treated like, if you look at what Arrow does, and I'm just comparing them because it's a competitor, when they have special edition titles, they do what's basically their trademark thing they do is their chunky box releases, where they make a nice hard shell box case with the movie, a nice booklet, and it has a poster inside of the case, albeit it's a little bit smaller than Scream Factory, no, of course, because that's to fit inside of a 4K or Blu-ray case. But the way they do it is that way. With Scream Factory, their business model is to hire an artist, of course, to do really great artwork most of the time, and art is subjective. What I'm getting at is most of the time I like what they do, sometimes I really don't. But anyway, then the way they do it is offer you 2 slipcovers with one release. And I've always made the joke, if somebody could explain to me what to do with the second slipcover, please let me know, because I would do it. And listen, the one thing I will say is sometimes Scream Factory's prices for the collector's editions are, quite frankly, comparable to other deluxe releases, maybe a little bit higher, but I think it's comparable because you're like getting extra stuff with it, posters and extra slipcovers and all that, which is fine, but it's just like, it's not practical. Like, I like being able to buy a release where everything is self-contained in it and I can put it on the shelf when I'm done and then pull it out. I don't have to have a place to store separate slipcovers. Sometimes you don't have a spare release from a previous generation, like on Blu-ray, where it might have been like a Night of the Creeps Blu-ray that came out that was like from another company before Shout Factory had it, and you can shove that spare slipcover on that one. Sometimes it's not the case. You literally just have spare slipcovers. I think we can change that model going forward. I hope I don't know if Scream Factory is still operating in terms of the way that they're doing their releases, and Gruv is just handling all the distribution and the pipeline of selling now and warehousing, or if Gruv is now really involved with the way Scream Factory is going to be putting out their releases. But what I hope is a little bit of a change. Part of me thinks, hey, I like the way Scream Factory releases are. I don't need chunky boxes for everything. My shelf certainly doesn't want chunky boxes for everything. But why not just offer a release where the 4K could be, you hire a great artist and you put his art out, and you can just order the movie with the slipcover, and there'll be a limited supply with the custom artwork done by the artist, and charge a little bit less to not have a second slipcover. That sounds like a good idea to me. There's other things we could do. They could cut that out altogether too, and I don't know if it would bother a lot of people. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of people would be like, listen, just put out new titles, put the original artwork on them. New artwork is cool, but honestly, most of us just prefer the original for historical purposes anyway. Yeah, it would have been cool to get like a Nosferatu 1979 artwork, but at the same time, I think most people, they like that Klaus Kinski, broken glass kind of, church image of the Nosferatu, and they like that image, so they're not going to want to have a separate image on that anyway. So, I mean, there's different ways we could go about this. What I think is going to happen is, quite frankly, that I think they're going to eliminate doing additives that they would do and ship through their own means now that everything's going through Gruv. I mean, we're going to look at the site up here in a second, but I guess when we looked at it, there weren't no more posters or anything on there anymore. I think the last of that stuff that was ordered was through Shout's website, if memory serves. So, and the other thing is, how often are we getting new releases from Scream Factory now? That's the other thing. Is it going to be quarterly? I don't know if it's going to be monthly anymore. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. There's still some mystery as to what the hell is going on. Like I said, I really don't want Scream Factory to go away whatsoever. I love my catalog from Scream Factory. I've been with them since 2012. And, just like any company, I've got complaints sometimes, but because I want them to improve certain stuff. We voiced our opinions about them not putting the uncut versions on 4K as well. Like when Life Force came out, people were pissed, and they didn't have an explanation. Then Arrow did it and then fixed all that, having that other version. But guess what? Then Scream Factory was like, okay, you know what? Yeah, okay, you're right. Land of the Dead had both cuts on 4K. They kind of, on Night of the Creeps, they kind of just did the director's cut, but that might have been by Decker's choice. I don't know. But my point is, they have made improvements in certain areas. But every company has problems. What company's perfect? My point is this. I think we're going to be seeing less of, my gut says we're going to be seeing less of the additives from Scream Factory. But the number one thing is ordering movies from Shout Factory, Scream Factory now through Gruv. Is it convenient? Is it nice? Is the website easy to navigate? What do you say we go actually look at the website right now and let's just go through it. Let's have like an audit of the website, and then we'll come right back. All right, so here's the homepage. Let's just kind of have a look at this. My whole thing is, now that Scream Factory is a part of a bigger website, I'd like everything to be as convenient and as easy as possible. So here we are. We're on the site. I've been looking at it on mobile, but I haven't actually sat on the computer before and looked at it. So at first glance, it's great that I see the Shout logo right here. Let's click on that. And, oh, cool. We get... Now that's nice. We get Steelbooks, 4K UHD, Blu-ray, DVD, Hong Kong classics. That's the big deal they got right now with Shout Factory, I think, right? Scream Factory. Look, Studio Ghibli, Shout Select, and All Shout. So let's check out Scream Factory. Let's have a look at the page. We click on that. And I think this is important to note. Most of you guys probably already know this, but free shipping on every order. So the free shipping is like a standard media mail shipping, I think. And then if you want to get it a little bit faster, that's where you got to pay. You got to pay a little bit more. But the number one thing that I see is I'm thinking that they're not offering like the posters and everything anymore. So here's what we have right here. Like this is just the home page. So let's look at. Let me see what you can kind of click on. Format Blu-ray. All right, if we click on Blu-ray, we get wow. Here's just a listing of everything. Wow, Funeral Home really shot up in price. I don't even think I paid that when it came out. Frankie Frico, I saw that on Shudder. That was pretty funny. Dr. Moreau's $25. So after tax, you're paying about $28 for that. Jennifer, $8. Andy Garcia. Prices are okay. They're about where they usually are. $17.99 for Little Nicky. Private Parts. So far, the look of the site, damn it. I love this little movie. Razorback, The Possessed. Okay, so that's nice. Let's click off of the Blu-ray. Format type. Let's do DVD. Wow, they actually have DVDs on here. Into the Abyss, Motel Hell, Ghost Stories, The Pack, The Hallow. That's a good movie. You guys told me to get that. The Fall Collector's Edition, Halloween 2, Halloween 3. Yeah, I have a lot of these on DVD because when Scream Factory first started, they were doing these. I gotta say, our UHD will include all the Steelbooks. Wow, Hush is expensive. So is Renfield. The Steelbooks are a little bit pricey. You can get Nosferatu. I'm assuming this is just you're not getting any. You're not getting any post. They're not offering the poster stuff on here anymore. So, hurry, take 50% off your first order, sign up. So if you guys haven't done that, sign up. And that's another thing. It says usually ships within 24 hours, and that's really nice. I did read like on a FAQ on here that if you order from Gruv, they're supposed to be really good about getting your order out to you quick. There's Ouija for $29. I'm about to pull the trigger on this, Fade to Black. I think people said they'd be interested in my review if I did that. The Hunt is a surprisingly good film. 24 for Creeps, 29 for Forbidden World. Monkey Shines is 22. That's a good one. So I gotta say the interface of Gruv, if I say Gruv during this, please forgive me. So far is not bad. Yeah, not too shabby. Whoa, look at that! This steelbook's in print. Is this in print? This was the Return of the Living Dead steelbook that people missed out on because it sold out so fast. Look at that. Holy crap. Did you guys know about that? If you like that steelbook, you can get that one. Gotta say, oh, look at the price difference between these two. Makes you just want to get the standard version. But yeah, not bad. Prices, you know, hopefully some of these will get some discounts. I know Scream Factory usually has their sales. I would assume that Gruv might do the same, or might be the same. Yeah, I'm assuming Shout Factory has now they everything is in house with Gruv now, in terms of their you know, what is the last one? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then you can even decipher it down to action films under Scream Factory. Not bad. What do you guys think? I really wanted to like The Island. It was okay. Metal Storm 3D. Look at that. Mad Max still in print. Wow, Mad Max is still in print on Blu-ray. That's really neat. Let's see if there's a adventure. Oh, crime thrillers, 124. Pretty cool, guys. What do y'all think? Yeah, I'm gonna have to place an order, and I'll have to update you guys to see if it actually ships within 24 hours. But yeah, it looks like there's no more sort of you know, features in terms of extra stuff like posters and slipcovers. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Scream Factory announce new titles through the website and see what they do. If we haven't talked about that yet in this video, we'll talk more about it in a second. But there you go. They have some previews for the new stuff. Tales from the Dark Side. Can't say I'm in love with that artwork, but I do love the movie. Shipped ahead of release date. Wow. At least you guys see that? Interesting. Releasing December 23rd. You probably get that early then. There you have it, guys. Pretty cool. So that is, you know, the home base of Gruv. Not too shabby, guys. What do y'all think? Pretty convenient, huh? I like that. You got everything kind of individualized right there. All right, guys. We'll end here, and we'll go back to video and talk. So, sweet. So, guys, there you have it. I mean, me personally, I think the website's convenient to use. Obviously, like, most of us are going to look at it, like, on our phones and stuff. But, you know, seeing it on desktop, that was very easy. That was very smooth and easy to navigate. I love with the click of one box, it'll just show me action horror films and this and that for Scream Factory. And you can assume that it'll be as much the same level of ease with the Shout Factory stuff. We're not going to look through everything because it would take a long time. It does look like everything's supposed to ship to you fairly quick. I'm sure they have all hands on deck at Gruv to be able to get orders out very fast. I've heard more positive than negative when it comes to using Gruv to order stuff. But I think it's going to be a new ball of wax now with Shout Factory stuff to see how they handle that. I'm sure the volume of the movies that they're going to move is probably going to be pretty good. So let me know your guys' thoughts on using Gruv if you've used it in the last week or so. I was supposed to place an order, and I think I forgot to just finish it, and so I never got it. I had ordered a few things, but I had a few things in my cart. I think I just forgot to do it, but I need to. I need to actually get something ordered from them and try them out myself. But let me know down below what you guys think. How are we feeling? You know, how are we feeling about Gruv and Scream Factory, and what do you think the future holds, and what would you like to see happen? I always think it's important to do videos like this and talk, because you never know who's watching. The best place to find, you know, constructive criticism from your customers is probably through videos and YouTube and stuff. So voice your opinions down below. Let me know what you guys think about this whole thing. For now, this is your old pal CHH. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to y'all very, very soon. Take care.